Everything you've been wanting, manifesting all your life.
Hello my loves, welcome and welcome back to my channel. I told you guys that since I got engaged that I was going to do a story time on how I manifested my soulmate, my person, my fiance, my soon-to-be husband, just because I know that I could help a lot of people. And if you are one of those people who you feel like the dating pool is trash, you're tired of dating, you feel like you keep attracting the same kind of people, your love life has been unsuccessful, but you're still holding on to faith that you're going to reach your person one day, like, keep watching because this video is for you. Now, this video is not for those who have a victim mindset, who feel like it's everybody else's fault, who's not ready to take any type of accountability, and who does not want to do spiritual inner work. Okay, so this video is not for those individuals. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Now, some of y'all don't know what manifesting is or even law of attraction is. So law of attraction is one of the universal laws. Okay, there's a lot of them. This is just one of them. And I'm just going to read, if I look down, this because it's my phone, I'm just going to read like what law of attraction is so that you can get an idea logically, like the description of what this even is. So law of attraction is based on the idea that thinking positively can bring good things into your life. It has roots in various physiological and spiritual traditions, but its modern form became popular in the early 20th century. Okay. It roots back to the principles of Buddhism, Hinduism. It talks about the 19th century New Thought movement. The law of attraction became more structured during the New Thought movement in the late 1800s, which emphasized the power of the mind in shaping reality. Figures like Ralph Waldo Emerson, Phineas Quimby, and Mary Baker Eddy were central to this movement, teaching that one's thoughts could influence their health, wealth, and happiness. Okay. Now, in current day, the law of attraction gained widespread recognition with the 2006 publication of the book The Secret by Rhonda Byrne. Now, if you have not heard about The Secret, it is a book. She put a lot of successful people on there, and there's even like actors on there. Like, I've seen Denzel Washington on there, if I'm not mistaken. You can watch this in a visual form on YouTube. They had it on Netflix. I don't think they have it no more, but it's free on YouTube from my last understanding. And they have a book of it, okay? And it goes in depth more about what this is. And it just talks about like how powerful your mind is. So this basically just saying like, you create your reality, okay? You have to be in alignment with what you are wanting. So to give you like an example, we're going to use, this is the spiritual world and this is the physical world. In the spiritual world, when you're dreaming, visualizing all of these things, like, oh, I want a nice house, I want a nice car, I want to be married, I want this, this, and this, right? It's up here. It already exists because you have created it mentally, okay? But in order for it to come in reality for you, this needs to be in alignment with this. If it's not in alignment with this, you're not going to see it in the physical form. You're not going to see it in the 3D. Okay. So you have to watch your mindset, what you think, and what you create for your reality. Another example I like to give is like when we're running late. Okay. All of us have probably ran late at least once in their life, right? So you're driving, you're on your way to work. You're like, oh my gosh, I'm running late. I'm running late. Pay attention to your reality when you tap into that low frequency, okay? I'm running late. I'm running late. Oh my gosh, now I need to get gas. Oh my gosh, this red light is taking forever. Why is it taking so long? Man, the traffic's picking up. Why is there so much traffic? What is going on? There's a car wreck up there. Wow, this would happen when I'm on my way late to work. You start to create the reality of low frequency. So everything low frequency in relation to that starts attracting to you. That's your reality now because you are in a low vibration. You just created that reality. Okay. That's why like when I'm running late, I try to like shift my mind like, nope, I'm going to be on time. I'm going to be on time. And it happens usually every time to where I'm on time because I shift my reality. Like you got to shift it. Okay. Meanwhile, if you look at another car, their reality is different. They're not running late. Traffic ain't that much for them. Like they cool. Like they listening to their favorite song, grooving, chilling, feeling the vibe, and then you in your car mad, so your reality is different from their reality. Okay, so again, it's important to have a good reality. If you are low vibrational and always thinking negative, you will start to see that everywhere in your life because you're attracting it. So you might have drama with friends and family, drama at work, hating your job, financial issues, financial hardship. Your kids might start acting up. Like, you just start attracting these things because you are in a low frequency and a low vibration. So it's important for you to watch your mind. Sometimes you even have to pay attention to what music you're listening to regularly, what you're watching regularly, etc. Like, I used to be a big person on reality TV. I used to love reality TV. But honestly, now I have to balance myself, like with the music I listen to, what I watch, etc., because I don't want that constantly in my head, okay, of like drama, etc. Like, you have to balance it all out. Not saying you can't, but it's like you have to balance it out, if that makes sense. Okay, so if you still have questions about like what the law of attraction is, what manifesting is, definitely go on YouTube, ChatGPT, TikTok, Google. Is so much information now on what this is that we didn't have back in the day. So it's like, it's really good for like people to be able to tap into this information, because that's what it is. That's why it's called The Secret, because once you get it, you understand it, you know how powerful it is and how you really can manifest anything with the right mindset. Okay, so with that being said, now that we know what that is, right, let's talk about my mindset and my frequency when it came to love. So, short background story. I have 3 kids. I was married to their father for 5 years. I met their father when I was like 17. Okay, I grew up in a broken home. My mom and dad was married, but they divorced when I was really, really small. And unfortunately, things didn't work out with her and my stepdad. So it just was like, I never got to see what healthy love was, proper love was, etc. And so I just went out there and tried to find it on my own. And I met their father when I was in high school. I was a junior, I want to say, in high school when I met him. And we had an on and off relationship. We got back together after breaking up for almost like 3 years. And we got married. We had kids, got a house, just all these kind of things. But the relationship was very toxic, and it was toxic from day one. I just would try to hold on and make things work. But it's like, when it comes to a point where it's like, dang, like I don't want my children seeing certain things, hearing certain things, because if they are not seeing what healthy love looks like, then they're going to go out there on their own, just like me, and try to figure that out on their own. It's like our job as parents to show them what we want them to do. We got to lead by example. So I didn't want them to continue to see certain things, hear certain things, etc., especially while they're still young enough to not have to really worry about that so much. Like they were at an age when me and him separated to where they were still young enough to where I'm like, okay, this shouldn't have caused too much damage, from my understanding. So we separated, okay? And we divorced. And my mindset at that time was very low vibrational. Obviously, it's changed. Like when you've been with somebody for so long, you built a family with this person, etc. I don't feel like anybody's going to be happy about that. I don't know one person who really just got married just to get divorced. Like, you don't build a family with somebody just to go and break up your family, only if it's absolutely necessary, which in my case, it was absolutely necessary. And I have a whole like hour-long video of my divorce story on my other channel, which is called Zena Sessions. I'm going to link that in the comments, and that goes in depth about the divorce, what happened, why we divorced. So if you're interested in that, I'm going to link that in the comments. But I was in a low frequency. I was in a low vibration. Like, I was so angry. I was so mad. Like, income wise, I was used to 2 incomes. I had to go from my income to try to figure out, okay, what am I going to do financially to make sure everything's straight with 3 kids, a mortgage, etc. And luckily, I was able to generate more income. Like, that's what I needed. I needed to generate more income. So luckily, I was able to pick up another job. I was working 3 jobs at a point in time. I had to do what I needed to do to make sure my kids were good. But like, again, I was at first in a state of mind of like, man, like, how am I going to do this? On top of that, my oldest was very close to her father. So she asked a lot of questions about him because he decided after we separated, he was not going to be a father. He wasn't interested in being a father unless we were together. So with that being said, it caused a lot of hurt to my daughter. She had a lot of mental obstacles that she was going through. I had to put her in counseling. And I feel like any parent who have to watch your children hurt and cry and there's nothing you can really do about it, because it's like, I'm not that parent, so I can't force him to be a parent to you. I know you miss him, but it's like, what can I do? And I think that will make anybody in a low vibration and hurt and sad and not really know how to deal with that. So that's what mindset I was in. Like, it was just a big change for me, family wise, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. I was drained, financially, and it just was like, what am I going to do? I was in a low vibration. Now, luckily, I've always had supportive family members with them on both sides. So if I needed a break, I could, my kids might go to their dad's side of the family, or like I hired my mom as a part-time nanny, so she would get them every other weekend for me. So when she got them, I would go out. I was, at that time when we first separated, like I was going out a lot. When I didn't have them, I was partying, drinking, just having a good time, just to get my mindset off of what was going on with my reality when I went home. And then also like holidays, birthdays, etc., that wasn't easy, because if you have somebody who's like wondering like, why haven't my dad called me, why haven't he got me gifts, why haven't, like, it's just weird. It was like a ghost. Like, this person went completely ghost, like, oh, I don't have kids anymore, like I'm not gonna act like I do. Like, that's what we were dealing with, and it's hard to deal with that when you have small children, because you can't explain it. So again, this is what mindset I was in. I was in a very low frequency, very upset. Yeah, so I had to tame myself. So with that being said, I was open to dating. So I started to like date. I talked to like more seriously 2 people. The first person, it was like, he was very immature. He was childish. He was immature. He would play games. Like, I was just really tired of that. I'm like, we're too old to act like this. One day we're this direction. I'm sorry. I don't know why my nose keep itching. I think my skin is dry. One day we're in this direction, the other day we're in that direction, then we go back to this direction. It was just very like on and off, like just a mess. And I was like, I'm just tired of this. Then I thought I finally like met my person. Now, I am not new to manifesting. Like, I've always known about manifesting. I always knew about, like, I would hear stories about manifesting, etc. Okay, but I did not manifest right the first way. So please listen to me so you don't have to repeat my mistakes. I have always been in, unfortunately, imbalanced relationships where I always will put in more than receiving. And I know with the inner work that I had to do and the shadow work I had to do, that roots back to childhood. Like, I grew up without my father, and I knew that like that's where that came from. I didn't have somebody as a father show me like what proper love looks like, healthy love looks like, how to be provided for from a man, how to be protected by a man the proper way. Like, I was never shown that kind of stuff, which is another reason why I had to make the decisions I made, because I didn't want my kids to have to see the opposite of what they needed to see in regards to that as well. Okay. So with that being said, I attracted a lot of imbalanced relationship. I was giving way more than receiving. I felt like I had to, and that's what I was doing. I didn't know what it was like on the other end. So I was like, you know what? Let me try this manifesting thing out. So I got my notebook, and which is this, by the way. This is my notebook. Make sure you guys have a notebook when it's time to manifest, when you're ready for this. Okay, so this says the universe. This is on Amazon. I love it. And it also has gold pages and this bookmark. And as y'all see, I'm constantly manifesting all these pages. Not even just love, everything. I'm constantly manifesting. So I'm gonna have to give me a new journal, because your girl is always manifesting and journaling. So I wrote down the qualities that I was tired of dealing with. Okay, I was like, you know what? I want somebody who is going to give. Like, I always give. I barely receive like I should receive. Okay, not in a balanced way. Okay, so I'm not saying that I never received, but I'm saying that it was not balanced as much as I did. Okay, so like, I want flowers. I want gifts too. Like I want somebody to want to take me out, stuff like that. But I was so focused on the external of things like that and the materialism, and I was not focused on the internal. So when I wrote it down, I was really literally writing down stuff like that externally. And I manifested somebody, right? So I met somebody. The first couple months was cool. It was decent. I was like, okay, like this is cool. It's going good so far. This person is a giver. Like he got me a couple things, like took me to nice places. I'm like, okay, this is cool. This is cool. Then it started going downhill. It went downhill. It went completely left. It's almost like it was a whole different person. I'm like, what the heck? Like it went downhill. And that's when I knew. I'm like, wow, like I have to go back to me. Like it didn't work out. We dated for like a few months. It did not work out. And I had to go back to me and like figure out what went wrong there. And then when I went back to like analyze the situation, I'm like, when you wrote down and manifested, you focus on external things. Like you never focused on internal things. Like, where's the emotional connection? Where's the mental connection? Where's the spiritual connection? Because me and him was not aligned internally at all. Like we externally were aligned on a lot of things, but internally we were not aligned at all. It was terrible. And it started to show that as time went on. So I'm like, no. This is a me problem. I got to go back to me. Like, I don't even blame people no more. Like, I don't blame men no more. I don't blame nobody who I dated no more. I always blame me and go back to me, because it's all about what you tolerate as a woman. It's all about what you are going to accept as a woman. So it's like, I don't even blame them no more. They only can treat me how I allow them to. Okay. So went back to my list. Okay. And what I did was I tore out those pages and threw them away. Okay. And also keep in mind, because I didn't say this, before I started writing down and manifesting, there was some internal work that I really did have to do on myself. And it's always an ongoing journey of internal work, like always. But I had healing to do, obviously. Okay. Went through a whole divorce. I had healing to do. So not only did I put my daughter in therapy for 2 years, we also had family therapy to where I had to, and I had individual sessions with her as well, just me and the therapist. Like I had to really do that work. Okay. So that's important when you're manifesting love, is you have to really make sure that you're ready, because internally there's some things that you probably have to work on. Okay. I don't even recommend that you start manifesting as soon as you end a relationship, because 9 times out of 10, you're going to be in a low vibration. So you really want to take the time and like do the inner work before you even start manifesting, y'all. Okay. So I just want to put that out there. So I tore that page out. I said, gotta go back to the drawing board. There's something I'm not learning. There's something I'm not figuring out. And I also heard from a lady before who said, God will always send you a false soulmate before he sends you your real soulmate to know if you are ready. And in my situation, that was actually true. Because I was so confused. I'm like, I thought I did this right, blah, blah, blah. But no, baby, you guys, I had stuff I had to really look at this way more important than that kind of stuff. Okay. So tore that paper up, threw it in the trash, went back to the journal and started over. I'm like, you know what? I am focused on internal things. Let me focus first on internal things. Doesn't mean that I don't still want a balanced relationship, but let me focus on internal things. So I went back to the list and I wrote down it as if I was telling a story. I learned that from a girl to where she said when she manifested her person, she wrote it down as if she was telling the story to like a best friend or something. Now you can do this either or. You can write it as a list, like I want this person this, or you can write it like you're telling a story. It's up to you. It's your journey. So I put it as my man is blah, blah, blah. He does this for me. He's this way, blah, blah, blah. So I put that down specifically on my paper, like I was telling a story. That worked well for me. It was fun to do. It was creative. I'm like, okay, this is what I want. I think I had like a couple of pages, like, I don't even remember. I think it's, how many pages I write down? This was 1, 2, 3. Okay, so it was like 3 pages, y'all. I wrote down like 3 pages, but these pages aren't that big, but it's like 3 pages. And then I left it alone after that. And I prayed and I said, God, I appreciate, first of all, I have gratitude. Like, my life has changed a lot. I had a lot of big changes. I could be in a box somewhere living outside. I have to stay with somebody else or anything like that. But I am blessed. I'm here. I'm blessed. I can pay my bills. I have beautiful children. My life is good. So first thing first, I'm grateful. Now, I would love to attract my husband. I would love for you to send me my husband, my person, but I am not in a rush for that. And whenever you want to send me him in divine timing, send him to me. Okay, not in a rush. And when I say that, y'all, I was dead serious. Like, I don't care if it was a year or two later. I don't care if it was 3 years later. Like, I didn't want to waste any more time with dating. Like, I can't do that. I can't afford that. I don't have time for that. I didn't want to waste any more of my time. So I was serious and I said, in divine timing, I trust you. So I didn't put no timing specifically when I prayed about it. Okay. On my list, I wrote down what I want when I do meet him. But as far as when I meet him initially, I put no specific time. And I said, in divine timing, when it is time, this is what I want, and so I was praying to God about it, and I was like, send me my husband in divine timing. When it's time for me, I wrote down what I want, the qualities that I want in a man. And I trust that you will send me that person when it's time for me to receive him, y'all. So I said a prayer about it. And then I immediately started doing more inner work on me. So I fasted, went back to the drawing board me, and I fasted immediately. I start fasting and I start working on me. So I start working out more, exercising more regularly each week. I was always active, but I would start to slack. So I'm like, I got to get back to me and do better, because you are what you attract, y'all. Keep that in mind. You are what you attract. You want to make sure you are your best self. And I preach that on Zenith sessions. You have to be your best self, because wherever you're at currently, 9 times out of 10, that's what you're going to attract. So if you got issues that you got going on, financial issues, etc., you might attract that back. So you want to be your highest self, be your best self. And I was already working on myself. Like, at that time, I already was like financially making the most I ever made before. I bought a new car, like, that I always wanted. Like, I was already in the shifting my life, like upgrading my life. I did the mental, emotional work with therapy internally. So I was already working on myself constantly, okay, before like manifesting. Like, I was working on myself. But I knew that with me attracting the last person, I had some more inner work to do, because I was attracting somebody who was emotionally messed up internally, in my opinion. But again, I can't blame that person, because I'm attracting obviously something within me. So did the work, y'all. And I went back to me of like, okay, what did I always want to do? And I was like, you know what? I always wanted to do YouTube. Let me go back to focusing on the stuff that I really, really wanted to do. So I was on it, y'all. I was working out. I was eating better. I started going back to YouTube. I always had YouTube, but I wasn't active for like years on there. So I was like, you know what? Let me go back, get consistent. And that's when I posted my divorce story. And I started getting views on there, and I started posting more and more content. So I was enjoying life. I was having fun. I was like in a high vibration. Like, I literally was enjoying myself. I was loving myself. I was feeling myself. Like, I was happy, So literally, like, now keep in mind, I did still keep open contact. Okay. So like, for love to come in, because if you are, faith without works is dead, right? So it's like, if you are a person who is wanting to attract love, but love has a way to find you, like, it might take a little longer to manifest. Okay. So knowing me at that time, after doing my inner work and all that, like, I was not going out like that. Even when my mom or the other family had my kids, I still wasn't going out like that, because most of my friends don't even live here. Okay. And my friend that does live here, she barely has babysitters, etc. So like, I wasn't going out like that. I was at the house chilling. I would go out from time to time, might go do this or do that, go to the grocery store, run some errands, but I was not out like that. So I was like, I still kept open that gateway for God to work, if that makes sense, for the universe to work. I kept open that gateway for that to happen. So still had my social media, still had dating apps that I installed. Like, I don't know if priorly is a word, but I installed them already in the past. So I still had those already installed, and that was it. Like I just make sure I still had ways for God to bless me in that way, since I barely get out the house. Okay. So again, I'm just living my life, having a good time, etc. Okay. So I check my page, my dating app. I went on my dating app, and I seen somebody send me a notification. I got a notification, and on the dating apps, you swipe left for no, right for yes. Okay. And on this dating app, I got a notification that somebody swiped right to me. So I'm like, okay, let me check this person out. So I look at his page, and I'm like, oh, he's cute. Like, he's really handsome. Like, okay. So, I hit right on his to let him know, like, yeah, like, what's up? I'm interested. So after I sent him the notification back that I was interested in him as well, I got a message from him, and he was answering like this. It was in relation to a prompt that was on my page. On my page, you can put you can put a description up, height, weight, beliefs, kids, whatever. Not pictures of kids, but like if you have kids, etc. And then you can put little prompts on there of like questions, and then you answer them for people to get to know you. So one of them said like, what was your first tattoo? And then I put gorgeous, because that was my first tattoo on my back. And he wrote me, I can't remember the specific words, but it was something like, yeah, that tattoo you have ain't lying, like, you gorgeous or whatever. He said something like that. And so that initiated our conversation, so we just had a conversation, we exchanged numbers, and we decided to link up. Okay. Now, he is a South state resident. Okay. And I'm in the Midwest, and he is a driver. Okay. So the reason I even popped up on the app for him is because he was driving through my state. Okay. So I popped up. So after we like exchanged numbers, we decided that we was going to like chill link, after talking a little bit. So we decided to link up for the first time, and it was good. Like, it was cool. It was vibes. Like, we were both comfortable with each other. Like, it was vibes. It was cool. Okay. Now, this is where the funny part comes in. After we linked for the first time, I sent him a message, and I was like, is it crazy that like I miss your company already? And then he said something, I can't remember what he said afterwards, but he sent like a cool emoji of like shades, with the shades, right? Now I took that as like, oh, he think he cool because I said that, when on his end and his perspective was more like, cool, like I feel the same way, like, cool, this is vibes. And it's so funny because we still would joke about that to this day. And he was like, see, this is why I like talking on the phone, because it can be misinterpreted. So when I heard that, I'm like, okay, so he feeling himself. Okay. So after that, we talked, but like I started thinking about it more and more, and I was like, I don't know for sure if like, and remind y'all, I'm not thinking about the manifesting thing or anything like that. It didn't even come to my mind like, oh, this is my person or anything. I swear I was not even thinking about that. I actually was thinking about like, this person is like cool, but like, this is not gonna work because he is, he's a driver. Like, I don't know if we'll ever see each other. Like, I was just thinking about stuff like that. So I'm like, he's cool. Like, he's handsome. Like, I like his energy. So like, maybe down the road we might link up and go that route. But I'm not really focused on that right now because I don't know how this is going to work. Okay. So that's pretty much the mindset that I had with him. So like, we was messaging, getting to know each other, like just talking, stuff like that from time to time, not regularly, but just from time to time. So maybe like once a day, I want to say at that time, or maybe every other day. It was something like that. It wasn't all day, every day. It was just more of like that. Okay. So we linked back up the second time. We was just chilling, vibing, whatever. Like, we linked up the second time. Again, that was the same energy for me. Like, I just kept it at a certain level of like, this person is cool. You know what I mean? And that's just the level it was. Like, we didn't do anything or anything like that. It was just more of like, this person is cool. Like, when he and we can link up, we can hang out, just keep each other company, whatever. That's just how I seen it as. Because again, like I said, in my head, this person, he a driver. I heard rumors about what drivers be on, and like, I was like, and then at that, like, he gone. But he did tell me, like, I make time for what I want, but in my head, I'm like, yeah, I don't know if that's possible. But again, just kept it at a certain level, like, he cool though, whatever. I wasn't thinking too much of it. I just was keeping it at that level. So after a little bit more time goes by, we were texting and stuff like that this one day, and he was like, we should talk on the phone. Like, we don't ever talk on the phone like we should talk on the phone. And I was like, okay, do you FaceTime? And he was like, yeah. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm gonna call you after I get off of work. So that night, y'all, when I called him, that changed everything. Literally everything. And this is probably about like maybe a month of us, like, or anywhere from 3 weeks to a month of us just like texting, talking like that, like linked 2 times. Like, that is pretty around that time frame, okay? But when we FaceTime for the first time, that changed everything. Like, everything. We was on a phone for hours, like, talking about our past and love and just like goals and stuff like that. Like, just getting to know each other, like laughing, and like, I really enjoyed like talking to him. Like, it was a whole vibe. It was energy, all of that, And then like, I was like, okay, I'll call you tomorrow. And then ever since that day, we have done that. Like, we be on the phone all day, every day, literally talking all day, every day. If we did not have other stuff we had to do in our life, like, we would still be on the phone talking all day, every day. Like, that's what we was doing. So we started to naturally get close. And then the next time we linked up, it was like a natural vibe, a natural chemistry, like, so much better. Because at first, again, the energy was a certain kind of way, because I wanted to keep it a certain kind of way, because I'm like, I don't know if I should get close to this person or not, because I had my guards up, like, I don't know how I'll see him, I don't know what he wants, like, that kind of stuff. But then, yeah, after we got to know each other, FaceTime, all of that, we got really close. Like, we got really, really close. And again, that third time we connected, it was a vibe, a whole vibe, like, seriously. So we just start getting closer and closer, and then eventually we decided to get into a relationship. We took our first vacation. And even at this time, y'all, I'm not even realizing, like, you manifested a person. Like, you wrote down a person that you wanted. I'm not even really thinking about this at this time. I'm just enjoying life. So, like, we went on our first vacation, which was new to me. Like, unfortunately, y'all, I never had a man just take me on vacation, like, and plan everything and all of that. I've never had that experience. So he was like, he wanted to like impress me. He wanted to like show me, like, let me show you a good time. Like, yeah. So he took me on vacation. He like, you free this weekend? Like, let me know if you were to go on a vacation, what weekend would you be free? And I was like, probably this weekend, blah, blah. Next thing you know, he didn't email me the tickets. I'm like, oh, say no more. So like, we planned that out, got my child care together, went on vacation. It was one of the best vacations I ever, still to this day, my favorite vacation. It was so much fun. It was a vibe. He showed me a very good time. And ever since, it's like the healthiest, literally, relationship I ever been in, y'all. We have never argued. It's just a vibe. Like, we talk, we laugh, like, it's just been amazing. And then I started to realize as time went on, I was like, oh my God, I manifested this person. Like, this is the person I think I manifested, but I wanted to wait. Because one thing I did remember about what I wrote down was that this person engaged. I said engaged. This person proposed to me. Like he wanted me to be his wife. Like I remember particularly that. So I didn't want to look back at my list to see if he was my person until I could see that that has happened. And then once that happened, I'm like, yep, all right, that's it. That's it, folks. Like at the end of a cartoon show. All right, that's it, folks. That was it. I was like, I knew it. I knew it. Like that was my person. So manifesting is so real, y'all. It's so real. I'm gonna even read to y'all just like some of the things, not everything, because obviously this kind of stuff is personal, but I'll read like some of the stuff that I wrote down, y'all. So I put, this is my first sentence because I was sick of the BS in the dating pool, y'all. I was sick of it. So literally the first thing I put down is that I was sick of the BS, y'all. So the first sentence that I put down is, this is the one, comma, heavy on this is the one, okay? Like for real this time, exclamation mark. So that is the first sentence, like, this is the one, like for real this time, exclamation mark, period. This man is the epitome of a black, healthy, heterosexual, strong black masculine man. Heavy on that too. Heavy on that too, okay? Now, you can have your preference, obviously, of whatever color you want to date. Like, I've heard people tell their stories and say that they didn't really want to put what race in there because they wanted to be open to whatever presented itself to them. But I am a person who, like, I'm black, obviously. Like, I want somebody who is black. Nothing against nobody else. It's just that I prefer somebody who is my color, okay? So, but heavy on the black, healthy, heterosexual, black, masculine man, okay? Because we all know nowadays, I don't know what's in the water, but a lot of these men are not healthy masculine, okay? A lot of them are very much given feminine. A lot of them are very much just not masculine. I don't know what it is, but I needed heterosexual as well. I had to make sure I put that in there because, yeah. I put, he is so gentle with me and my children. And I just be shocked at like what I wrote down and how I really have this. Like, it's amazing how powerful it is. Like, it's amazing. I'm like, yeah. Like, let me just read it and stop saying all that. Okay. He wants to marry me and move in together within 1 year of us being in a relationship. He doesn't want to waste time. We've been dating 9 months now. 9 months. 9 months. Okay. I put, he hates when I use my money. That's him. I don't even know what else to say. Like, that's him. That's him. He gets me things just to see me smile. The first thing he would told me like early on is like, that right there, that smile, I always want to see that smile. Like, if I don't see that smile, I know something's wrong and I'm going to do whatever I got to do to fix it. Like, I always want to see that smile. And he literally would give me flowers. Just like, it would just be the cutest things that he would do that made me smile. Like, he would send flowers to my door, just all these kind of things. And I'd just be cheesing away. Like, even as soon as I talk to him or hear his voice, I just start smiling. Like, that's what we do. We're that couple that's like, people be like, okay, they're annoying, get a room. Like, cause we just be like cheesing and stuff. Like, okay. I put, even when we disagree, it's always safe and respectful. I had some bad experiences, some toxic situations. So me and him, we don't argue. We haven't had one argument, but you know, even if we disagree on anything or anything like that, we might laugh it off or whatever. We have never argued, never raised our voice, nothing like that ever. Like, we just don't have that. Like, and I'm glad about it. We just don't have that. Hold on, I'm just trying to see things that I feel like is important to actually say. Okay, I said he's got / had a respectable career slash business. He wakes up loving what he does slash did for a living. So I was open with the age group of dating somebody. So I know what age I prefer, but me, I'm in my 30s and I prefer somebody who was going to be like mid to late 30s, maybe even 40s. But I didn't know what they were going to be doing for a living, but I just knew that I wanted somebody who loved what they done, because I would hate, and I've dealt with this before, to where their job would stress them out and then they would just be hateful when they get off, or like too overwhelmed with work. Like, come home and let it be home. Let me be your woman. You know, like, your kids don't need you to be so caught up in everything else. You know what I mean? Like, it just is like, I want somebody who like loves what they do, enjoys what they do, and just come home and just be happy. You know, like, I don't want anybody who's all stressed out with their job and all that kind of stuff, because it just makes a bad energy when you come home. Like, let that go, you know? So he's been driving over 10 years. Like, he obviously has a career, and then he also is just very like very smart, really, really smart, like has, you know, he does different things. He's a businessman. He's likes to invest, just all this kind of stuff, like just a lot. So I'm just glad that he likes what he does. You know, he's comfortable with what he does. Okay. I put he is a great, amazing father, and he does have a child. I preferred somebody who had a child because I have children. So I wanted somebody who could understand my lifestyle, who could understand like what it's like in my role as being a mother and how important that is to me and how that comes first. And he has those same things. So like, I get it, he gets it. That's why I preferred that. Okay. So amazing father, great father, active father. Like, I love that about him. He's amazing when it comes to that, especially. Let's see what else I put. He's very loyal and faithful. Let me see. He's so considerate, so generous, so loving. He likes nice things. That's so funny, because I actually joke about him liking nice things, and he really does like nice things. He told me he prayed for a woman like me. I guess we was waiting on one another. Powerful. Powerful. And this, I can't believe I even put that. Like, I put that down in some of our initial conversations. Once we start realizing that we were like connected and we were divine and stuff like that, we literally start discussing those things. I told him about how I prayed for somebody like him. He was like, I prayed for somebody like you. So I'm like, wow. And I actually put that down on my list, that he prayed for somebody like me. Like, and he did. Like, wow. I just still be amazed at all this. Like, now, hold on, let me see what else I put. I love staring at him. And how fly his style is. And that is so true. Like, I love staring at him. He's so fine to me. And I put that too. I'm so attracted to him. He's so fine to me. Like, he is. Like, he is so fine to me. Like, I'm very attracted to him. He's mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially, and physically in tune with himself. Heavy on that. Okay? Because it is so much damage that is in a lot of people nowadays. Like, me as a woman, I'm going to speak on dating men, okay? I know that both genders got some internal damage, but I'm just saying, like, a lot of men I've dated are internally damaged, like mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Like, they are just damaged inside. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, I cannot stand that. But I did want somebody who like was healthy all the way around, like who I didn't be like, dang, you need therapy, or dang, you need, like, no, I want somebody who already done the inner work, like I done the inner work. And we are so aligned in that way. Like, I don't have to tell him like, oh, you should go on a fast. Like, he already be on fast. Like, right now he on a water fast. Right now I'm still like, no, I just came off my sweets fast. I was doing a fast where it's no sweets and the sugar, and I just came off that fast. But like, I do that normally and naturally, and he does that too. And I'm like, wow, we are just so connected. Like, we're both spiritual people, not religious people, but spiritual people. So we are very spiritually in tune with each other. It's kind of hard to find somebody who like believes in what I believe in, because we can clash that way, but we are spiritually aligned with each other. They're spiritually in tune with each other. That's how I knew how divine this was. I'm like, this is crazy how like everything is lining up how it needs to line up. Like, that's amazing. I also wanted to add in even stuff that I did not put on the list that I love as far as like qualities and stuff in a man or just like extra little things. I also got with him. Like for example, I always said like, man, I feel like I was secretly supposed to be like Caribbean because I love like Caribbean music. I love being in the sun. I love their food. I love like, stuff like that, right? And he so happened to be half Caribbean, like he's half Bahamian. So it just is like he's put me on to some great music, like foods, health, like as far as herbal things, like just all kind of stuff. So it's just like all these extra even qualities about him that I didn't even write down. God looked out for. God's always going to look out for you. First, for somebody to be black, I prefer somebody who like has some style. I like to see your style or whatever, but externally wasn't that important to me. I just got blessed that way. And after I wrote all this down, I even start doing like little journal entries, being completely delusional. But when you are completely delusional, I'm telling you, this stuff happens. It works, right? So let me tell y'all a journal entry that I put down. So I put hold on, because I read one of this to him and we was just like really laughing. I put peace, comma. I named him Peace in my journal. And I put peace. You're so fun to be around. I always smile when I'm with you. I love how you're so affectionate. I can't wait to be your wife. I feel so lucky. Now, this is before I even met him. Okay, this is before I even met him. And that's exactly how I feel. Exactly how I feel. And what's crazy is before I even like read this and told him I wrote this down, I always told him how I love how affectionate he is. So when I did finally read this to him, like, and I read him the journal entries, like we both was like, wow, because he is so affectionate, very, very affectionate. And I love how affectionate he is, y'all. So it's just like I said, it's a lot of stuff on here. It's a lot of stuff on here. So I'm not gonna read every single thing, but you get the picture of like I wrote down what is my ideal person, what I wanted, things that were really important to me. And as y'all notice, I focus more than anything on internally, like how he makes me feel, and then internally the connection, mentally, spiritually, emotionally. And that's exactly what I got. And I definitely recommend that if when you are ready to manifest, again, number one, follow these steps. Number one, make sure you're healed. Make sure you are healed from your last situation. Don't try to manifest somebody or just jump into another relationship when you are not healed. Healing looks different for different people. Somebody can be healed within 90 days. Somebody can be healed within 3 years. It just depends on your specific situation, but make sure you heal, get any type of counseling you need, pray, fast. Like fasting is so powerful that people don't even know. But do everything you need to do internally. If you have children, focus on their needs as well. If they need counseling, whatever, get yourself all the way together, okay? Reach your highest self spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically. If you need to work out, sis, get your butt in the gym or do what I did and get a treadmill in your room. I put a treadmill right on in my room, okay? And then they have plenty of at-home workouts that you can do, like you can for free. Okay, look on YouTube, look up workouts, whatever they have, 10 minutes, as little as 5 minutes, whatever. And just do workouts, like work on yourself, okay? Work on what food you're putting inside yourself. Have a balance. Like you want to be your highest self, because remember, what you want to attract, what you are. So if you are slacking, then you'll attract somebody who also is slacking 9 times out of 10. So be your highest self, okay? Because once you level up to a certain level, then people who are not at this level, they can't really get access to you. You're going to see that from a mile away. It's something about the more I leveled up, the less I was seeing people that was not in alignment with me. I just wasn't even attracting them. So I was attracting people that I've never attracted before. So you have to really level up on every aspect. And once you're at that level, you got yourself together physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, financially, okay? Financially. I don't know why it's so many women out here who are lazy and don't want to put in any type of work on themselves financially. Get yourself together financially. I always feel like you as a woman, I don't care how much your man makes, you should have your own income. I'm gonna always feel like that, like always. So get yourself together, okay? So that you're not in no desperate type of energy at all when it comes to attracting people, okay? So that is number one, leveling up on every single aspect, okay? Number two, when it is time for you to manifest, don't make the same mistake I did and focus on external parts. Focus solely on internally first. Focus on how you want this person to make you feel internally. God got the rest, honey. Trust me, God got the rest. Focus on I want this person, for example, to I ain't gonna say I want, because that's not how you manifest. You speak as if it's already there. So my man is so wonderful. He has a calm energy. He makes me feel at peace every time I'm with him. That's an example, okay? So you write it out as if it's already there. Now, do not manifest and write in journal and scripts if you are upset. Don't be like, oh, I'm sick of all these niggas. He got me messed up, blah, 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 and then start writing. No, don't do that. You got to be in the energy and the frequency of happiness, love. Okay, so when you're writing, you should be, that's the energy you should be writing in. Not like, no, you have to be in the right frequency of writing. I never journal when I was upset, like, because I know how that can be. So when you are manifesting, it's important that your mindset is high vibrational. Do not manifest when you're not. When you're feeling good and feeling fine, like, okay, let me go ahead and write. Like, I'm feeling great. Like, and when you write, you want to act as if it's already there. So if you just won $1 million, are you going to be writing sad? Like, I just won $1 million. Like, no, you feel how you feel when you have it. Like, oh my God, I just won $1 million. Like, life is so great now. I'm about to go buy this. Like, I'm so happy. That's how you write it down, okay? And this is not just for a partner. This is for manifesting anything, a house, more money, cars, etc. You write it as if it's already happening. So you should feel how you would feel if you got it. That's the energy you have when you're writing, okay? So that's number two. Make sure you manifest correctly. Make sure you're writing it down how you would feel, and focus internally on that person, how they want you, how you want them to make you feel in the relationship. What's important to you in a relationship? How do you want to feel, okay? Then you can add on little external things, but really focus on the internal. That's really, really important, okay? And then number three, do not obsess about it. Do not obsess about it. After you write it down, you have to already know that it's coming, and it's coming when it's supposed to come, okay? I do recommend that you pray. I do recommend after you write it down that you pray and then let it go. That's what I recommend that you do, okay? The whole famous, like, Sierra prayer that everybody loves, they don't realize that she manifested that man. Like, she prayed. She took her loss. She knew what she wanted now. She had to do the inner work, the inner reflection that she said she did in the interview. Then she prayed about what she wanted, okay? And she went on about life, and then she met him. So it's like, people don't realize, like, you have to let it go. Like, you have to know that it's coming. Like, if your best friend said, girl, I'm about to drop off this purse, are you going to question that she's going to drop off the purse? Or do you believe that she's going to drop off the purse? So the same thing when it comes to, like, praying. If you ask God for something, don't question him. Know that it's coming when it's supposed to come. Anytime you obsess about it and get sad about it and all of that, you mess up the alignment, okay? You have to have complete, total faith that God is going to bring you your person when it is time for him to bring you your person. And use every single experience as a learning experience, okay? The people who you dated in the past, you need to forgive, let go, and let that be a learning experience of, like, what I do want and what I don't want, okay? I think I'm on number 4. Have gratitude. Make sure you have gratitude. Like I told y'all in my prayer, I first started out by having gratitude. Have gratitude, because your situation could always be worse. You could be homeless somewhere cold. Like, have gratitude in every situation. And like I said, your situation could be worse. Okay, so have gratitude. And then number 5, I want to say, work on you. Focus on you. Work on you, continue to work on you, and next thing you know it, you will be blessed when it's time for you to be blessed with it. And then after you're blessed with it, thank God for it. Okay, so That's what I have, y'all. And I'm gonna show y'all right here. This is a message of somebody who I know, who, when I told her what I did to manifest my person, as y'all see on this message, it worked for her as well, just manifesting her person. Then after that, if you go on YouTube, even at that, go on YouTube, type in, I dare you, type in how I manifested my soulmate, how I manifested my husband, how I manifested my boyfriend. You will see stories on top of stories on top of, it is thousands and thousands and thousands of stories. So I am just one of thousands and thousands of stories of people who manifested their partner by following these steps. Okay, so I hope this helps y'all. Happy manifesting. Do what you need to do. And I cannot wait to hear y'all stories. Okay, so I will see y'all on the next video.